$100 for a dating event that no men showed up to. What that shows is that men are no longer desperate for women, guys. And predictably, women are losing their freaking minds. For years, the dating market worked like this. Men chased and women chose. Now, a lot of men are doing something different. They're going to the gym, stacking their money, investing in their hobbies, and enjoying their peace. Less chasing, more traveling. And suddenly, the endless supply attention that women used to enjoy isn't what it used to be. No more constant validation, no more endless simping, no more desperate texting. And the funny thing is that some women can't understand it. Why aren't men trying anymore? They ask while they cry in their cars on TikTok under the handle single and dating over 40. I'll tell you why. Because many men have finally realized that their peace is better than chasing women who don't respect them, their time, or their presence. It's really that simple. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to get daily dating wisdom just like this.
And buy my course. No, just kidding. I agree with him 100%. Only the thing is that a lot of men get that idea that once they hit the gym, work harder, earn more money, that everything is gonna unfold and they're gonna be eternally happy.
I want you to post about dating in your 40s. Places for people to hang out. Heck, play matchmaker yourself. We all know the apps are stale. I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. 4 years ago, I tried hosting a singles event in Vegas. I tried playing matchmaker. Would you like to know what happened? The same thing that happens on the dating apps. All the girls went after the same 2 or 3 guys and ignored all the other guys there who weren't as perfect or handsome or rich as the other guys. It's the same reason that dating apps are stale. Girls don't want guys on their level. They want guys who are better. But all the guys who are better are already married because girls don't let those kind of men go. They lock them down in their 20s, which means the only men who are going to show up to a dating event are the same men who are on the dating app. They're either guys that you guys didn't want to marry in your 20s, or they're guys who like to take advantage of how desperate single women are once they reach their 30s and 40s. That's it. That's who you're going to get. And you guys won't accept that, and you're going to call me an which is why I'll never do a dating event again until you guys are willing to accept reality and accept where your standards might be nowadays. Dating is going to continue to be impossible, whether I set it up or somebody else sets it up. It'll end up like all those single black women events that they've been throwing in Philly and Atlanta. You're going to have a bunch of girls with college degrees and in their 30s showing up looking for a partner on their level. And maybe a couple guys will show up to take advantage of that, but everybody else is just going to stay at home and play video games and not deal with the nonsense.
And I think, honestly, both the guys made really good points. Men are not going to dating events. They're not going to singles mixers, specifically because I waste a lot of money. I waste a lot of time. I waste a lot of resources there, knowing that these women, their standards are through the roof and they don't even make any sense. So that's why you're seeing a lot of men stepping back and opting out. And so what you're seeing from men is them picking up hobbies, them getting more into gaming. Maybe they might go out with the boys. They're going to the gym, working out a little bit more, doing a little bit more meal prep. You might see them honing their skills to get more money or taking on a second business idea. You might see them improving their skincare. And if you're looking to level up your skincare, then I suggest you give Tiege Hanley a try. You have to look at if we as men are going to start being more selective about where we show up, who we entertain, what rooms we put ourselves in, who we spend our time, our resources, our money on. That standard has to apply both ways. The last thing that you want to do is finally decide, I want to go out to a singles event just to get out the house. Or I want to go have a beer with the boys, whatever it might be. You don't want to show up looking like you don't take care of yourself. That's one of the things that a lot of men overlook. And when you're out there, maybe at the bar, you ain't trying to do nothing. I'm just trying to talk to a few people. Get something to drink and go back to the house. But you might want to talk to a lady. And women notice the details. They notice if you groom yourself. They notice if your hygiene is good. They notice whether you look tired, oily, whether you look broken out. They notice this type of stuff. And you want to be sure that your skin looks presentable. It's not the only thing that matters, but it's one of the first things that people see. When I say this, the point is not to be obsessed with skincare and start trying to do some 12-step skincare routine in the bathroom every night. But the point is to take care of yourself. Find something simple. Find a system that works for you and add that to your improvement. Like I said, you're already trying to level up, getting money, honing your skills, going to the gym, doing meal prep. Just add skincare to your routine right there. And once again, that's why I like Tiege Hanley for this. It's skincare that's made simple. The key word is simple there. It's skincare that's made simple for men. You don't have to stand in the aisle trying to figure out what cleanser you're going to use, what moisturizer you're going to buy, what exfoliator. None of that. They send you the package, you open the package, read a few instructions, and get to washing your face. That's why I like Tiege Hanley. It takes out all of the guesswork, all of it. Step A, step B, step C, period. Most men that I've talked to, they don't need complicated. They need something that they are actually going to use every day. So I say, whether you're going to a singles event, you're going on a date, you're going to work, you're just moving through the world. Do not let bad skin be the thing working against you before you even say a word. So you need to go down in the description, click the link. Tiege Hanley is giving my viewers 40% off of their entire skincare routine. Plus, they're going to give you a free gift. Go check it out.
All right, ladies, public service announcement. Big Daddy about to give y'all the game because y'all really starting to piss me off. I've already gave y'all clear instructions on where to find a man and how to sustain a relationship with a man. So please explain to me why y'all keep hosting these singles events. There's not going to be any men in there. And I'm going to tell you why. We've watched enough social media to truly understand what it is that you women truly desire. You're not going to find no smooth, attractive brothers at no dating events. You're not going to find no pookies or no bad boys at those singles events either. The men that need to go to those events are not going to go. And that's all the brothers in the friend zone that y'all refuse to give some banana pudding to. Every single beautiful woman got a bunch of brothers in the friend zone freezing the right now. They willing to pay for it and y'all not willing to give it. So why do I keep hosting these events? Let me say this very, very slowly. Smooth and attractive brothers, bad boys, and pookies have a roster of women. When you do find any one of those brothers on dating apps or as well as singles events, they already got a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a partridge in a pear tree, and 2 dogs. They already got somebody. They just up there collecting bodies at this point. They just want some new banana pudding. They're here to waste your time. When brothers are attractive, they got women that want them. Even on social media, women will DM you. Women will give you the little eyeball emoji. Trust me, I know. So stop hosting these events. You got to constantly waste people's time because none of those brothers are going to be in there. Thanks for joining my TED Talk. Believe your comment in the comment section. But y'all grown, they're going to do what y'all want to do.
Highest divorce rates, 2 women. Lowest divorce rates, 2 men. Highest rates of 2 women. Lowest rates of 2 men. 75 to 80% of divorces filed by women. Top reasons: boredom, unhappiness, no longer compatible. Highest rates for maltreatment of children by women. Women consume social media at a far higher rate than men. Women are also 3 times more likely to deal with mental health issues than men. When you share these statistics, you are automatically labeled a misogynist pick-me who hates women, but fortunately, I care more about truth than being accepted by the sisterhood. I'm also not a girl's girl, I'm a woman's woman, which means taking radical responsibility and accountability for my own gender. And the truth is, we have a lot of work to do. But what has happened instead is not only my generation, but the generations of women before us just constantly blame and deflect everything on men. You'll hear them say, well, if the men were good, if the men were better, if the men were more masculine, then we would be better women. And that's an extremely entitled take to say that your virtue only relies on men in society. With that attitude, you will actually never attract the men that you claim to want in society. If you are living a debaucherous lifestyle as a woman, you cannot turn around and say, it's men's fault that I don't have anyone to marry. It's men's fault that the dating pool is messed up. No, it's your fault. The best thing that you can do in your life is just to say, everything is my fault, and start taking radical responsibility for your own life, instead of blaming and deflecting on everyone else.
You're not a feminist. Well, that's cute. Do you know what the leading cause of for women aged between 18 to 44 is? Just take a guess, put it in the comments. It's a man you,
So in this video, the lady claims that the leading cause of for women aged 18 to 44 is men. Is it true? Nope, this is wrong. And it's not even close to the truth. To check the data, I encourage you to go to the CDC website. Yes, it would be mostly for the US, but it is probably the most reliable source you can use. Here you can directly go to a page, leading causes of. Pick the most recent available year, set the sex to female, age to 18 to 44. And what do we have? Number 1 is unintentional injury, about 16,500. Number 2, cancer, about 8,800. Number 3, heart disease, just under 5,000. Number 4, about 4,200. Number 5, liver disease, about 2,500. And then at number 6, homicide, 2,175. Leading cause of it's not even top 5, and it gets worse. That number 1 cause, unintentional injury, isn't really one thing. It's mostly many causes stacked together. But 2 causes stand out. drug overdose and car accidents. So I pulled those apart. Overdose or drug poisoning on its own kills about 10,000 women in this age group. Car accidents, about 4,800. So once you count them as the separate causes they actually are, homicide isn't 6, it drops to 7s. And one more thing about that age range she picked. Homicide only ranks anywhere near the top for the younger groups. Look at the CDC's own chart. For 35 to 44, it's already 8s, and past 45, it falls off the list entirely. So if we exclude underage population, 18 to 44 is basically the one window where homicide looks as high as it's ever going to look. So it could be the case that she specifically chose this age group to make it look worse. Yet still, even with that, her claim still doesn't hold. So as a statement of fact, the leading cause of for women is men is just false. Now, to be fair, there is one part I'll give her. When a woman is the person who did it usually is a man. Going off federal homicide data, in cases where we know who the offender was, about 9 out of 10 women who are by a man. So if she'd said specifically that, she'd have been right. But that is not what she said. She didn't make a claim about who commits murders. She made a claim about what kills women the most and completely misrepresented it. And you may say, well, what's my problem? It is still 2,175 women we need to speak about. And for sure, 2,175 is not nothing. It is worth speaking about. But here, she specifically takes that number and misrepresents it to blame men. If she really cared about what the leading cause of is for women, she would be talking about overdosing, about heart disease, about cancer. But she didn't. Why? Because then it's much harder to directly blame men for it. I'm sure with enough imagination she could find a way to blame men for those too. But why bother when you can just twist the data and blame men directly? Because who's going to check it? Her audience will eat up any misinformation as long as it blames men.
These modern women keep on falling into the same trap that they set up. They don't even know what they want. They don't even know what they're talking about. They're just talking. And that's the issue. They just continue to talk. They don't really have much to say. They only want to hear themselves run their mouths. And so when you're getting questions like, the dude a minute ago was saying, why you guys keep on hosting these events? Why do you guys keep on making these events? The guys are not coming to these. And you want to know why? And let me say this. I've seen some guys come to these events and the guys are reporting, man, I had a great time. And it was fun. They had games, they had this, they had that. So it was a lot of stuff that they had, and I really enjoyed myself. You want to know why? Because there was somebody that finally said, it's not all about the women. Let's see if we can make the men feel comfortable as well. Let's see if we can make them have a good time as well. But a lot of modern women are not focused on that.
Guys hit the gym after a breakup because they think their body was the issue. Bro, you have the emotional intelligence and maturity of a doorknob.
Today we're doing a video on female panderers. These are content creators that only make one kind of content where men are always bad and women are good. Women are never held accountable for their actions. They don't know any other way to make content. It's very, very damaging content. I want you to think about that video you just saw. Pretend you're in a relationship and your partner decides after you guys break up to go to the gym, start going to the gym all the time. And you say, hey, you know what? The only reason why they're going to the gym is to get back at me. The only reason why they're going to the gym is to get over the breakup with me. You making them going to the gym about you is called narcissism. The only person who needs to go to therapy is Chris GQ Perry. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 ways that you can always tell if you're listening to a guy who is a female panderer. The first one, infantilizing female choice.
Everybody's talking about the clip from Inside the Manosphere with Justin Waller, a married man with 2 kids, a third on the way, who boasts about sleeping with other women and having threesomes with his wife. The wife says, well, at least he's honest, because in my last relationship, I was lied to.
No, that's not all she said, Vincent. She also talked about the fact that she found women attractive, and that's part of the reason why she enjoys sleeping with other women with her husband. You had to skip over that part because then she is now taking agency for her own decision, and you can't have that. The only narrative that you can have is that she's being manipulated or extorted by her husband. It can't be that she made her own decision to do this.
You say you want a man, but a real man leads, and this is not leadership. Justin, all these male influencer dudes, they do not understand true leadership, because leadership is actually simple. Do the people closest to you feel safe? Do they feel chosen? Do they feel led? Safe? No. This guy can leave at any moment, and the second she puts her foot down, he's gone.
Ladies, take a second and just think about what he just said. Now, I happen to know Justin and I know his wife, Kristen, and I know for a fact that she does feel safe. But no, he's telling her that she's too dumb to know that she shouldn't feel safe. I want you to consider the level of arrogance and narcissism to tell someone else that they shouldn't feel safe when they do. This is infantilizing her choices. Once again, I don't understand how any other way you can see this. If she makes the decision to have this arrangement with her husband, why are you blaming her husband? Well, the reason why is because you're making pandering content for women. And what makes this even worse with this content creator, Vincent, is he's trying to use the Christ pill in order to do this. In fact, he's trying to say, oh, this is a Jesus Christ thing. He's trying to use the church in order to say, I'm a good person and I'm here trying to protect women. No, you're just trying to infantilize them, just like every other content creator I'm exposing here. Which leads me to point number 2. There is zero scientific basis in what these guys are saying.
If a woman is single for a long time, like 2 years, 3 years or more, it ain't because something's wrong with her, most likely. More than likely it's because she's intelligent. And that's not to say women who are in relationships or marriages or that get in these relationships quickly are just dumb. What I'm saying is intelligent women, they have the smallest dating pool because they have the least amount of tolerance for BS.
Now, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I looked up the data, and of course, there's no data anywhere stating that a woman, because she's been single for 2 years, is more likely to be intelligent. Obviously, that isn't real. But why does he say that? He says that because he understands there's single women in his audience that he wants to get the approval of, get likes and follows and shares, etc. So that's why he makes these ridiculous statements. And here's the problem. Instead of actually being honest with some of these women and saying, hey, listen, maybe the problem is you're intelligent, but also the problem might be the fact that, you aren't taking care of yourself, or you're in a city where there aren't a lot of great people to date, or maybe there's certain things in your personality that make it difficult for you to date. Instead of her taking accountability for the fact that she's single, instead he's just saying, no, the reason why you're single is because you're intelligent. This is ultimate gaslighting and extreme levels of pandering.
Women are literally going after the top 10% of men.
Literally, no, they're not. I swear that this claim derived from a study from a dating app ages ago.
Yikes, that video didn't age well. You guys can take a screenshot of this if you want so you can look up the study for yourself. This came from Cambridge University Press just last week that highlighted 58% of women's relationships are with the most promiscuous 10% of men. The data source for this is the GSS from 2014 to 2024. Check out the winner-take-all dynamic. The study illustrates an extreme Pareto distribution, that's the 80-20 rule, in modern mating. While the majority of men have very few partners, a small elite group of highly promiscuous men account for the majority of encounters. Additionally, this is Dr. Deborah So of York University. She has a PhD in psychology. She recently wrote a book. The book is called Sextinction and goes over modern intimacy. In the book, she goes over findings social media creates the illusion of connection while actually isolating people and pitting men against each other. Again, that's everyone I've been showing you. All these content creators I'm showing you are literally trying to pit women against men. There's no argument against this. They are not holding women accountable, and in every single one of their videos, men are bad, women are good. Dating apps produce choice paralysis, ghosting and ego boosting, swiping with no intent to meet, porn, OnlyFans, and AI companions are replacing real intimacy, and people are starting to prefer them, and women are outpacing men economically, creating a hypergamy mismatch where successful women can't find suitable partners and men feel invisible. Additionally, half of Gen Z has a diagnosed mental disorder, with 90% of those being anxiety, making dating feel impossible. Endocrine disruptors and hormonal birth control are blunting desired biologically. Men who are unemployed or under-earning are largely removed from the mating market entirely, and the gender split. Men are hit dramatically harder. 1 in 3 men versus 1 in 5 women have had 0 partners in the last year. So these female panders do not want to understand, or do not want you to understand, that there's actually a crisis when it comes to dating, and it's not all men's fault. They want to hand wave this away because any talk about the top 10 women choosing the top 10% of men just shows hypergamy, and they can't let you have that. Once again, I just want you to understand, whenever you're dealing with someone and they don't hold you accountable, they never tell you that you're wrong. All they do is spoil you, gaslight you, tell you whatever you want to hear. They're not doing you a favor. So a little bit of context with the Will Hitchens situation. About 3 years ago, he made a video about me, criticizing me because I was dating someone who was significantly younger than me. And he didn't understand the context of our relationship, so I don't really blame him. We chose each other. I was not looking for someone that young. She was not looking for someone that old. It just happened. Okay, so I totally get it. I would not have chosen that. Additionally, he made fun of my physical appearance, which I get. I have a very punchable face, so no offense taken. I totally grasp that. I made a response video on Access Vegas where I had all the girls on the show watch his video, and they completely understood that he was just basically taking me out of context. So you know what he did? He contacted me, or he tried to contact me, and apologize. He said, hey, listen, I shouldn't have made fun of your physical appearance, and I didn't understand the context of your relationship with your girlfriend. I apologize, right? Nope. After making a video about me and then I responded to it, then he decides to block me on Instagram. I guess it ain't no fun when the rabbit got a gun, huh?
Women who don't check a man's phone will still find out if he's unfaithful through their intuition and dreams. One thing about a woman is that she always knows when something is wrong or off. Whether it's through an energy shift, a gut feeling, or even a dream that gives her the answers she needs.
Let's see what the data says. Research on relationship anxiety and attachment insecurity shows that anxious attachment individuals already have a bias towards perceiving threat and betrayal that isn't there. Dreams about a partner's infidelity are strongly correlated with the dreamer's attachment anxiety, not actual partner behavior. This is a well-documented pathway to false accusations, unnecessary conflict, and relationship destruction based on nothing real. Again, this is terrible, terrible advice. Ladies, if you want to make sure that you never get into a happy, healthy relationship, just keep listening to these panders. 3, advice for men, but the audience is almost entirely female.
Hey, send her 1,000 just because. Josh, how much you sent her? Cool little 500. Come on now. Fresh, how much you sent yours?
I want to know how many people in the comments believe that if this dude just sent a random girl $1,500 who wasn't attracted to him, that she would automatically just become attracted to him because of that. Please, guys, this is terrible advice. If there was one single guy out there who said, hey, who's in a heterosexual relationship and it was like, yeah, I was having a terrible relationship, then I started listening to Will Hitchens or Keenan Williams, or I started listening to Chris GQ Perry tell me to not go to the gym, and then it fixed my relationship. If I could find one guy who believed that, maybe I wouldn't make this video. But the reality is they don't help men at all. They act like they're talking to men, but their audience is entirely female. And the fourth way to tell if you're dealing with a female panderer is a complete and total lack of accountability for women. Listen, I don't care what walk of life you're in. You know that if you're a school teacher, if you're dealing with a loved one, if you're dealing with a child, if you're dealing with a coworker, you're dealing with someone that you're in a relationship with, not holding them accountable and not ever communicating them and giving them feedback is definitely not doing them a favor. This is a situation here. Ladies, you're not going to be able to learn what you need to learn, what parts are your fault and what parts are his fault, if you keep listening to people who keep telling you exactly what you want to hear. Please, you can do better. I was shocked when I saw how many women that I knew were actually following some of these content creators. I want better for you, so I ask you, please unfollow these people. And by the way, if I missed any of them, leave their name down in the comments, and hopefully we can make another video exposing some more female panderers.
Send a 500 for that right now. Throw in with the leave out, all that. Brazilian, Malaysian, whatever she into. You want to, right? She yours, right? Pay for that.
And I really like the woman that was talking about, find you a man that's going to be a present father. A lot of modern women won't listen to that because they want to play around. A lot of modern women won't listen to it because they don't care about responsibility, basically. You know, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just thinking about right now getting pounded out and sent back home. Honestly, I'm just thinking about the D. That's pretty much it. I don't really care what's going to happen. That man might say right before, you know, I really don't mess around with, you know, these types of women, and, you know, I really don't stick around. I'm just really here to do a little something, but I'm going to be out the door in the morning. They say that. And these women, a lot of these ladies, they'll hear a man say that, but then because they want to do it so badly, they're like, you know, I heard him, but you know, it's not going to happen to me. They're not necessarily trying to change him. Like I said, they're just trying to get the D. And they think they're smart enough, and he think he's smart enough to avoid having a child. And so that's when you get somebody like her, when she's saying, man, I shouldn't have had a child with this man. When he said he wasn't going to be present, he told me, and I knew it, but I thought I can do it without him. And now I'm struggling, and I don't regret my child, which I don't think that's what she's saying. But I wish I would have thought differently about the situation. If a lot of these ladies can hear this and understand this and stop making the same mistakes, who knows how far you can go.
Gentlemen, for some of you, the women in your lives are lying to you. And what do I mean by that when I say they're lying to you? What I mean is, for some of you, your mothers, your sisters, your female cousins, your female friends, they're not telling you the truth. They're telling you what they think you want to hear, the same way how they do other women. instead of telling you how other women honestly view you. And why that matters is because when they're sitting here telling you what they think you want to hear, they're sitting here telling you, oh, you're a great guy, or somebody, she just didn't see your value. And that may be true. It's not to say that's not true. But they're not telling you why you are going through some of the things that you're going through with these women. They're not giving you the honest truth about how women are probably talking about you after you walk away. They're not telling you, yeah, you might be a good guy, but a lot of these women look at you like a lame. You might be a good guy, but a lot of these women look at you as a lick. You might be a good guy, but hey, it might be hard to hear, but sir, the way you carry your weight, a lot of women don't find that attractive. You might be a good guy, but the fact that you are overly nice, meaning you lack boundaries, you let women walk all over you, that's really a turnoff to women. They're not telling you the truth. And if we're going to be really real about it, your mama was the first one that failed you, because your mama was the one that should have put you up on game. Your mama was the one that should have told you how women think. Your mama is the one that should have prepared you for how women are going to act. Your mama should have told you how women are going to perceive you and receive you as a man. They're lying to you, baby. You need to keep some real ones in your circle, because that's why their words and your experiences aren't matching up.
Fellas, what y'all doing? It is working. So I am in Chipotle today, overhearing a girl's conversation where she is whining on the phone, talking about she is 38 years old, never been married, got 2 kids, and the guy she's dating right now is not interested in marrying her. The first time in a long time, women are starting to realize getting married and starting a family is not guaranteed anymore. Y'all are choosing yourselves and peace, and women are feeling it. Women are starting to worry if they will ever get married, and if they don't already have kids, if they will have children. There's a reason, because y'all are tired of modern dating, tired of emotional games, tired of feeling unappreciated, and tired of relationships that are one-sided. Instead of rushing into relationships, y'all are slowing down and observing how these women are first. Pretty privilege is over. Y'all are no longer dating based on how a woman looks and how you're attracted to her. Now y'all are asking yourselves, can she bring me peace? Can she support my dream? Can I trust her long term, and does she actually value me? Because you all are realizing one of the biggest decisions you can ever make is a relationship, and then it going to the highest level of marriage. And when y'all choose wrong, it destroys everything financially, mentally, emotionally. For years, women have believed that men need women more than women need men. But now men are getting so comfortable with being alone and focused on their work, their purpose, and peace. And finally, women are realizing that men have always controlled marriage and building a family. And now you all are becoming more selective.
Body count doesn't matter, because I could literally fucking lie. Like, I could be like, oh my gosh, I have 5 bodies. Oh my gosh, I have 2 bodies. Oh my gosh, I have 3. Like, it doesn't matter. And you're not going to be able to tell regardless of how high I say.
Is it a double standard that a high body count for women is criticized while a high body count for men can even be praised? Yes, it is. But the funny thing is that this partly comes from another double standard that exists in our society. That double standard is that men typically initiate and steer the courting process. You'd say, yeah, but how is that related? Let me explain. You see, by itself, a high body count for a woman may not be such a terrible thing. I'll generalize and use assumptions here, and there are exceptions, but a high body count, especially at a younger age, does normally tell you a story about that person. Imagine we have 2 people. A man named Joe and a woman named Vicky, both 25 years old, both with a body count of 100. Due to the double standard I mentioned, where it's the man who initiates and steers the courtship process, for Joe to be able to sleep with 100 women by the age of 25, he had to accomplish a lot in his life. I'll even use conservative estimates here. Imagine Joe sleeps with, on average, every 5th woman he courts, and on average he needs 2 dates to do it. Again, if you're a guy, you probably realize that's a darn good statistic, way above average. That means that to sleep with 100 women, he had to meet 500. Let's even assume that for the 400 women it didn't work out with, he only had 1 date, and for the 100 women he slept with, he had 2 dates on average. That puts him at around 600 dates. So let's be conservative and say that average date cost him $30. For 600 dates, that means he spent $18,000 on dates alone by the age of 25. And that's just dates, on top of the rest of his lifestyle. To be able to do that, most probably, since we're talking an average case here, not some rich kid, Joe works a good job, rents his own place, does sports, has a good social circle. So the point is, to get to this level at 25, Joe has to be the man. The guy other boys see, envy, and look up to as an example. Now let's look at Vicky. Again, we are generalizing here. And again, using the double standard in our world where women are normally the choosers, attention comes to them, and they don't need to do much for it. Since Vicky was 18, she's been getting a lot of attention, both online and in real life. Guys were approaching her, asking her out, inviting her to parties. When she opened the dating app, she'd be getting hundreds of likes a day, more matches than she could even go through. So naturally, for her, the choices were limitless. So she'd be choosing the top of the heap, the creme de la creme, the guys who'd offer her gifts and interesting experiences. So since she was 18, she'd always have temptations. The choice was between studying, getting a part-time job, or just relaxing and letting the guys take care of her leisure time, her expenses, and the dates. And since the temptation was so high, she enjoyed it. Going to nice parties, meeting guys ready to pay for her and her things. A lavish, interesting, crazy life overshadowed the boring studies or working part-time for pennies. So she chose to enjoy life. We only live once, so who wouldn't? So here she is, 25, with 100 partners, but a very different background compared to Joe. Now, I know this is a generalization, that there are exceptions. Yes, this is only an analogy, perhaps a little exaggerated, but in my opinion, it's a decent analogy nonetheless. And again, this analogy isn't presented to judge. You can decide for yourself what works for you. This analogy here is to explain how one double standard can lead to another.
So y'all out here calling this man because he said women want, what he say, the responsibility of children, the authority of men, and the perks of being a woman. Oh, he ate you alive and now he's... He said that y'all come on these dating sites with 2+ baby daddies talking about some I deserve this and I deserve that and blah, 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 blah. He said all y'all got the same dating profile. He said he is tired of seeing it, baby. So am I ain't gonna lie. Anyway, he said all that and then y'all go and dig up his background. Turns out he is a single father. Turns out that y'all say he is GAY. But that don't dispute the fact of what he said. He said women want the responsibility of children, the authority of men, the perks of being a woman. If that ain't the most truest thing I've ever heard, women do not, they want to be the authority of everything, right? Women nowadays, they want to be the authority of everything, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with that. They don't want the baggage that comes with that. They just want to be, hey, do this for me, peasant. Hey, do that for me, peasant. They want to treat men like little peasants, you know what I mean? But then when you try to, assert yourself with a woman, oh, you're a narcissist, sir. It's like, nah, little mama, hold on now. There can only be one king in the castle up in here. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, when I see stuff like that, and then I see women run to their go-to, oh, he's GAY. It's like, nah, he's telling the truth. I'm going to give it to him.
And I think also, because she was talking about how men are controlling the dating markets, and they'll always control the dating markets maybe a few minutes ago. I think men have seen who women are and how a lot of these ladies can be. I think men have seen that. It's just they were getting value from it, and so they're saying, well, and I guess think about it this way: you'd have men to blame as well, because some of this stuff men shouldn't have let go on, but we did because we are getting something from the deal, right? Helping me do this, or they're helping me do that over there. I understand this is my job to do this over here, or go over here and do work however many hours and provide for the family, and a whole bunch of different other stuff. So it's kind of a push and pull or a give and take. But now it's really only men that are pushing and pulling. When a modern woman needs to be pushed, he's got to be the one to push her. If she needs to be pulled, he's got to be the one to pull her. So I'm doing both things, regardless of what these modern women be saying that they be doing. They like to get on here and talk about the mental load and all that other stuff, and I understand it. But a lot of these situations, that is not true. You don't be doing anything. You don't be doing all you say you be doing. So that's what men are seeing. And that's, like she said, why men are stepping back and observing because I want to see how you act before I put a ring on it.
So I made a video yesterday where I was saying how I can't hate men because I had a really good father. And I got a response that I found to be very interesting. She said, "Good for you. Thank your mother also because your mother chose a good man. That also means your mother is not a crappy person, but let's sympathize and empathize with people who aren't fortunate enough to have what you have." And see, this be my problem, because if I was to do a video about how much I love women, appreciate my womanhood because I had a great mother, there would not be a single woman in the history of womandom who would comment on my video and say, "What about your father? You should thank your father. You didn't get here without your father. Your mother couldn't have had you if it wasn't for your father. Your father had to choose a good woman. Why aren't you thanking your father? Let's empathize for the people who didn't have a good father." You would never say that. You would quite literally never, ever, ever say that. You would never come to defense of your father. Why is that? Why is that? And that's the problem with so many of you projecting in our comments. I should be able to make a video about men and fathers and how impactful a good father is to a woman, how impactful good fathers are to us without one of you. Well, what about your mom? What about her? This video isn't about her. I love my mom. I have 2 of them. I have great moms, but this isn't about her. Why do you have to? Anytime a man is getting any type of respect, anytime fathers are getting any type of shout out for being so amazing and valuable in our lives, y'all have to come with that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I understand that there are a lot of people who did not have good fathers in their lives. That is not lost on me. That is not lost on me. But I don't have a dad anymore. And the more I reflect on how much of an impact he has had in my life, I want to make videos because I want to talk to other people who have good fathers or who have had good fathers and their fathers are no longer in their lives. I can't do that without having to bring up my mother. No, what that is some of you are projecting because you didn't have a good father, you didn't have a good man in your life, and you're angry at everybody. So the thought or the idea of a woman getting on here and saying that she doesn't hate an entire gender because she had a great father in her life, that does something to your spirit. And baby, I am so sorry that so many of you did not get to experience that. That is not fair to you. It's not fair to you and it's not your fault. But don't make that everybody else's problem, because that's not our fault either. So yes, like I said, I don't hate men because I had a really good dad, and I know the Most High didn't stop making good fathers when he made mine. I know he didn't stop making good men when he made my father. And I should be able to say that, and nobody should have anything to say about it.
Quickest way to lose 10 pounds.
Go through his phone again. Last time you did that, you couldn't eat. Y'all are going up and down the stairs. If that man told you to go up and down, you would. We shouldn't be using the same washcloth for our face and ass. You listen better when your hair is not done. And some of y'all done heard this before too. Interlock your fingers and put your hands behind your head. Cause I train people that are cops and they told me they done pulled people over like you. Drinking and driving. With a you ain't supposed to be with. They done told me. Turn your location off, knowing your friends gonna check it. What happened to your location? I don't know, girl. You at that house. You hot? It's hotter than you keep lying. You ain't got no job or responsibilities. Go grab heavier dumbbells. These are not the monkey bars. Let's go. My generation don't grill no more. Y'all just light the hookah up. Niggas invite you for a cookout and lit but the hookah. Priscilla, count it out loud. I'll count it in Spanish if you have to. Ocho, nueve. You in here looking like a Valentine's Day card. Run to the line. And listen, ain't nothing wrong with taking a shower before the gym too. Anybody come in here stinking, I'm charging your card on file. You're like, what is this fee? Don't come in here stinking like that. During the summer, 2 showers a day minimum.
That's your favorite number this week?
What?
30? Everything's 30. 30 pipe. 30 eyebrows. 30.
Shut the hell up and do your workout.
You shut the hell up.
What's your question? Is the whole workout outside? I don't know. You was outside last night and had no problem with it. We would have been done by now, but we ain't listening. Keep going. Darren, unless you're a giraffe and are gonna grow another 8 inches, that's too high. You need a liquid IV and a nap. You've been drinking too much, like somebody's uncle. Your hair was in a ponytail already. Let's go. You put it in a ponytail for a break. You're not low.
I need a little break, Leonard. Catch my breath. You know.
Sound caught to me. Get under the bar.
You didn't take my advisement for gentle training.
You're not my counsel. I don't have to take advice from you.
Winter coming. Pick your favorite liar, snuggle up.
Snuggling up with your favorite liar is crazy.
Oh, we've all been there, don't act like that.
You're saying that weird word a lot, like you French. Woman in Luke, you do go in.
Oopsie!
Slow down. That was your warm up. How do you feel?
I'm tired.
You ready to go?
Home.
Well, you can't. Take care of that plate, just like y'all do when y'all leaving somebody's house on Thanksgiving. You looking left and right like you was crossing the street. Put the weight on the bar and let's move.
You know how men say that women never take accountability? That may or may not be true. But when I got pregnant, I knew I was going to be a single mother. Because I knew the person I was having a child with wasn't going to be a good father. I thought because I had money that it didn't matter if the guy was a good father or not, because I could make up for it with money. In hindsight, no matter how much money I have, no matter how many nannies I have, that was a bad decision. That was the wrong decision. So here I am taking accountability. I made a bad decision. However, I can't take it back. But what I can do is warn the future generation of women, do not have a child with a man who's not going to be a present father, a good father, a providing father. Because I have men on TikTok, or even women on TikTok, sending me more money than my son's father sent me all year. Which should say something. So yeah, I take full accountability. That was my mistake. But unfortunately, I can't change it. But it's the biggest regret of my life. Because I see fathers on Instagram doing with their kids. I see how much better the kids turn out when they do have fathers, when they do have discipline, when they have all these things. And it's like, I fucked up so bad and I can't undo it. There's nothing I can do to fix it. All I could do is blame myself, but also forgive myself and just tell others not to do the same.
Just imagine being in a household and the person that's in elementary school is the one with the most sense. Few discretions advised.
Grandmother got grandpa anymore, and you don't got my dad anymore, and then she has kids, and then you have a kid. You have a lot in common.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, could you point me in the direction of the humor? Because little man just dropped a gem that you didn't even know you needed. And instead of taking that seriously, you find humor in it. At his young age, he's noticing how up his family is. And instead of doing something about it, you laugh. This is why your family tree has those quote-unquote generational curses. Matter of fact, it is not a curse. These are active decisions that you and your elders decided to make. And you laughing at the unfortunate circumstances that the young boy just told you about lets me know you don't take it serious, and that's exactly why you are in the position that you're in. Y'all prioritize everything except putting those kids in the best position possible to further their development. And that young man at his little age is looking around and noticing a pattern and saying, wait a minute, something ain't adding up here. There should be no reason why y'all are practically in the same exact position. But instead of allowing that to be a wake-up call, you find it humorous. Some of y'all do not deserve to be parents because y'all do not prioritize your kids' development the right way. And you don't think a kid at that age with that line of thinking is a problem because that's what you came from. You actively can look around in your family tree and see that you guys are not progressing properly. And instead of doing something, at least trying to do something, you laugh at the situation that is clearly holding y'all back. And the only mother that notices it's a problem is a young in the room. You can't make this Wow. Your elders did you a disservice and stunted your growth, so in turn you think it's only right that you stunt his. The becomes the and I don't think he's going to stand for that. I hope that young man grows up and does wonderful things with his life and breaks free from the generational curses that the people before him put in place. Because there should be no reason why at his young age this is where his mind is. He should be worried about all kind of other. But you know what? I know you ain't gonna listen to what I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
You know, Mike was talking about panderers and how they talk about hypergamy, and that's just the way it is. And when you think about it, from the perspective of how, you know, a lot of these modern women, they want a man, they are hypergamous. They want a man that is equal, you know, at bare minimum, very bare minimum, just be equal to me. And then what I really need is somebody that's honestly at least double what I am, to be honest, because you're a man and things are easier for you as a man. So you should just be able to just walk into any door, grab any girl that you want to. The world is yours. So at the very least, if you're a decent man, not even a good man, 2x what I'm doing. A good man is probably going to 4x what I'm doing, because he's going to work a little bit harder. A great man, an excellent man, is probably going to be 100x. And you're saying, you know, man, you went from 2x to what, 4x to what, 1x or 100x? That's how modern women think. They think, okay, this level right here, very bare minimum, if I just have to, 2x what I'm doing. That's the bare minimum. That's a decent man. And if you go on to being a good man who's doing what he's supposed to be doing and can take care of a family, you can have the 4x, maybe even 5x what I'm doing. And if you're the ultimate man, the perfect man, and really I can't even say ultimate or perfect, because they're going to find fault within this man too. But the excellent man that they're saying they want, you're going to have to 100x what she's doing, who she is, or what she's got going on. So they're expecting, because they say that it's easier for men to be able to be, at the very least, at the bare minimum, a decent man. That's why they say, man, how are you guys not able to 2x what I'm doing? There are no good men out here. What they're really saying is there are no men out here that can 4x and 5x what I'm doing. So he was a good guy. I really liked him, but he can't 4x and 5x what I'm doing, and I'm not going to settle. That's why they can't find anybody. And they thinking a man's got to come up to my level. They understand, well, I don't have as much money, but I'm as smart as him. So he might be making more money, but I'm still on his level because I look good, or there's something about me that lets me know that I'm on his level, when they're really not. He's really much better than you. But they think in their minds, we're equal. And that's why you can't deal with modern women like this, because they live in a fantasy.